In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, some of the most intense rivalries and battles come not just from the heroes but from the villains. When we look at the roster of powerful figures in the MCU, a few stand out as characters who could shake entire worlds or even universes with their abilities. Two of the most fascinating and destructive characters we could imagine facing off in a battle are Cassandra Nova and Hela. Cassandra Nova, introduced recently, comes with a devastating psychic arsenal and deadly determination. Hela, on the other hand, the goddess of death from Thor, Ragnarok, redefined villainy in the MCU with her dark powers and ruthless ambition. Both of these characters stand as nearly unstoppable forces, and while they hail from very different backgrounds, imagining a clash between them reveals one of the most epic battles the MCU could ever portray. In this video, we'll dive deep into each character's abilities and potential strategies in a battle, speculate on how a fight between them could unfold, and finally, determine who would emerge victorious in a showdown between Cassandra Nova and Hela. Cassandra Nova, a telepathic force of destruction. Let's start with Cassandra Nova, one of the newer additions to the MCU. In Deadpool and Wolverine, she was revealed to be an exceptionally powerful mutant and one of the most sinister forces introduced. Originally from Marvel Comics, Cassandra Nova was created as a genetic twin to Charles Xavier, leader of the X-Men. However, Cassandra is not like her brother. Instead, she embodies a dark reflection of his telepathic powers and compassion. She represents pure, calculated cruelty. In the comics, Cassandra Nova is a Mumadrai, a parasitic life form born with the ability to manipulate others' minds and warp reality around her. She even tried to kill Xavier in the womb, which speaks to her merciless nature. In the MCU, her portrayal in Deadpool and Wolverine introduces her as a high-level telepath and mutant, capable of inflicting gruesome psychic attacks on her enemies. She's shown to have telekinesis, memory manipulation, and an ability to instill horror in her opponents. We see her root around in her enemies' minds, pulling out information or inflicting trauma with just a touch. Cassandra Nova's ruthless methods of handling enemies suggest that in any confrontation, she's ready to strike first and strike hard. Her psychic prowess gives her a unique advantage, allowing her to control or paralyze her opponents before they can even react. For example, in Deadpool and Wolverine, she's seen taking down variants of powerful characters like Magneto, Doctor Strange, and even Quicksilver, which speaks to the extent of her telepathic influence. But is this enough to stand up against a literal goddess of death? Hela, the goddess of death and destruction. On the other side of this fight, we have Hela, the Asgardian goddess of death. First introduced in Thor, Ragnarok, Hela is a force of pure destruction, wielding incredible strength, speed, and mastery over weapons. As the firstborn of Odin, she was initially the leader of Asgard's armies, conquering realms alongside her father. However, her thirst for power and conquest became too great, leading Odin to imprison her. When she was finally released, Hela's destructive abilities were on full display. Hela's powers are deeply rooted in her Asgardian heritage and her connection to Asgard itself. Her strength and durability are immense. She was able to crush Mjolnir, Thor's legendary hammer, with her bare hands. This moment alone established her as a villain of incredible magnitude. Her ability to summon weapons seemingly out of thin air and her army of undead soldiers add to her status as a near-unstoppable force. She even managed to overpower Thor and decimate the Asgardian army almost single-handedly. But Hela's powers go beyond just physical strength. As the goddess of death, she has a terrifying ability to drain life and is almost immortal. Her weakness, however, is tied to Asgard itself. She grows weaker as her connection to the realm fades. While Hela is ruthless and efficient in combat, preferring to overwhelm her enemies quickly, Cassandra Nova could present a challenge unlike any she's ever faced. The battle, strategy and tactics in a hypothetical showdown. Now, let's consider how a battle between Cassandra Nova and Hela would unfold. On one side, we have Cassandra Nova, who would likely try to break Hela mentally and exploit any psychological vulnerabilities. Cassandra's approach would be to use her telepathy and telekinesis to manipulate Hela's mind and make her question her own reality. She could potentially paralyze Hela, invade her memories, or plant illusions to disorient her. On the other hand, Hela's approach would be more straightforward and aggressive. She would likely launch an all-out assault, using her conjured weapons and immense strength to overwhelm Cassandra physically. While Cassandra is extremely powerful psychically, she lacks Hela's sheer physical durability and battle experience. Cassandra may try to get inside Hela's head, but Hela's resilience and focus could help her resist mental manipulation long enough to land a devastating blow. However, Cassandra's powers aren't just limited to mind games. In Deadpool and Wolverine, she demonstrated an ability to kill even the strongest of Marvel characters by targeting them psychologically. If she manages to incapacitate Hela's mind, Cassandra could claim victory without having to physically engage. But this is where Hela's advantage lies. Cassandra's mind tricks might not work on a deity as battle-hardened as Hela, who has seen centuries of war and betrayal. Conclusion: who would win? In a face-off between Cassandra Nova and Hela, both characters bring unique and devastating abilities to the table. However, when we analyze their strengths and weaknesses, one character does appear to have the edge. Hela, as an Asgardian goddess, possesses unmatched physical strength, combat skill, and resilience. Even if Cassandra Nova attempted to disorient Hela with telepathic tricks, Hela's combat instincts and sheer willpower might enable her to withstand these attacks and strike back with deadly force. Yet, Cassandra's psychic powers can't be underestimated. In a close battle, she could potentially manipulate Hela's mind and create illusions or mental attacks strong enough to buy herself time. Ultimately, however, Hela's overwhelming strength and nearly indestructible form give her the advantage in a prolonged confrontation. Unless Cassandra could completely incapacitate Hela mentally, which seems unlikely given Hela's godlike resilience, Hela would likely be able to overpower Cassandra in the end. So, who would win? While both characters have powerful abilities, the sheer physical and mystical dominance of Hela gives her the upper hand in this battle. Make sure to explore the rest of my videos for even more exciting character crossovers and intense battles that you won't want to miss. I truly appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Your support means the world to me. Don't forget to stay tuned for more awesome content coming your way. And as always, take care of yourselves, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.